Well, Jay, 10 o'clock this morning, I know you were down at the ground. It didn't look like we were going to get a game of football today, but the ground staff have worked very hard and the guys have rewarded you with the win today. What's your thoughts on today's performance?
Touching on what you said first there, yeah, I come down about 10 o'clock this morning to walk the dog, and the amount of water that was on sort of top of the pitch, to go from that to what we played on, again, you know, sometimes we say it in the programme and sort of mention it, but the guys have done an absolutely fantastic job forking that pitch, getting rid of that water, top surface water there, and they've done it over the last couple of weeks. So again, as I said, I need to take my hat off to them guys because they've put a fantastic job in and don't often get the praise that they deserve.
Moving on to the game itself, I know it was a very heavy pitch and it affects both sides. Did you feel that had an impact on the way we played today, positive and negative?
I think when the pitch is that heavy, it does have a little bit impact on the game. Sometimes when you punch passes in and move it across the line, when the pitch is heavy and boggy, the ball doesn't roll at the same tempo and speed that it normally would do on a dry pitch. And I think the biggest toll is, you know, later on in the game, it starts affecting the players' legs. It gets heavy and they're running around and causes cramp, causes a few more injuries and bits and pieces like that. But I thought our boys today managed the pitch really well. I know they'll be probably sleeping very well tonight after covering so much ground on the heavy pitch, but yeah, we adjusted to it, and so did Steyning actually, to be fair.
We created a couple of good chances in the first half. Brandon, the skipper, took his chance and we went in 1-0 up. Steyning came out with a slightly different approach, it looked like, and they were pressing us quite hard in the second half. But again, you know, one thing that I've noticed with this side this year, that you and Gary have got them working hard right to the end, and you know, at 1-0, you know, it could always, you know, if they get a goal, you know, is it going to change the way that we play? But you know, we got the second and the third, so again, you must be delighted with the way the guys, you know, kept pushing and created those chances to get the win.
Very pleased with what we've done. And as I said, we've got to give a bit of credit to Steyning because they made it hard for us. We've got a lot of bodies back behind the ball. The structure, the shape was very disciplined, and we found it especially hard in the first half to break them down. And that's why we come in sort of 0-0. We've got in some really good areas, but I felt that we just needed to develop on a detail of pass and get more bodies into the box, a little bit more free movement up front when we're getting those good areas. And that's what we spoke about at half time. So I'd like to think that we come out second half, and you could see that chat had worked because I think the way we structured ourselves was slightly different, and you know, in the end we got through and got those chances in front of goal.
You're right there actually, because I said we went in at 1-0, didn't we? But it was 0-0 and Brandon scored quite early in the second half, didn't he? So I apologise about that. We've introduced somebody new today, Chris Welkdale. Obviously a player that's got a lot of experience. Was that a deliberate thing that you always wanted him, or you know, what's brought him into the club today? What's made that decision to bring him in?
We tried to get him at the start of the season, and rightly so. He wanted to continue playing as high level as he could for as long as he could. But Welks is one of those lads that, even though he's in his 30s now, he's fit as a fiddle, which you would have saw on the pitch today. You know, he's tireless with his running. But also, he just brings an extra air of quality in there for us, ball retention, aerial ability. His work rate is, you know, fantastic for us, and that's where we want to go as a team. And I think he'll complement the side, and the side will complement him within his game as well. So I'm pleased he's got off to a really good start, and I look forward to seeing him play many more games for us.
Absolutely. We spoke about it just before we put you on the camera. A fantastic position we're in the league at the moment. I know it's early days, but again, yourself and Gary must be highly delighted the fact that we're currently sitting second in the table, and I know that's clearly where you want to be. But you know, how delighted are you both that we're currently second in the division?
We're really pleased, and the only reason we're there is because the boys have brought into everything that we've asked them to do. So it's as much as we're pleased, the boys need to take the credit for that, because we've used a lot of players this season in terms of bringing youth team up to first team. Everyone's brought into it, everyone's put a shift in, everyone's contributed towards it. Yes, of course we want to be in and around those areas, but we are going to keep plugging away a game at a time. And as I said, I know it's the biggest cliche ever saying that and not get carried away with yourself, but that's what we've got to do. We're not going to get carried away with ourselves. If our hard work keeps paying off, then we deserve to be where we need to be at the end of the year. The league table doesn't lie, so if we are at the end of the year, it means we continue to this form. If we fall off, it's because we haven't continued to the form. So it's our job to keep the focus, the players to keep the focus as well, and keep progressing each game that we play in.
Absolutely, 100% right. I mean, the guys have earned the right to be there, haven't they? So, fingers crossed they can carry on doing that for you and Gary. The games keep coming thick and fast. Tuesday we're hopefully going to be at home. I know the weather patterns for tomorrow don't look great. And then we're away next Saturday to Ramsgate. So 2 very different games.
Yeah.
Cup game on Tuesday, back into the league. How are you going to approach each game?
Like I mentioned a minute ago, we're going to have to use the whole squad, and everyone's going to have to play their role. We want to win every game that we play in. So although the squad might change for, say, the Broadbury Chief on Tuesday in the cup game, those players coming in and give them a chance themselves to put them in the shop window and play really well for us and make hard decisions for us coming against Ramsgate. Then obviously we've got Ramsgate, who are the league leaders, unbeaten in the league this year. The game's called off today, but we know they're going to be a strong side. They had a strong side last year, got a strong side this year. The manager Ben Smith sets the team up really well, so we know full well that we're going to be up against it. But then sometimes you've got to rise to the occasion, and that's the exciting bit about us. Can we rise to the occasion? Can we compete with those top lads, top teams? And see where we are at the end of the year, because that's the teams you have to compete with if you're going to be at the top.
Well, as I say, great performance today, and let's see what happens on Tuesday. But good luck next Saturday against Ramsgate, and congratulations on being second in the division currently.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jay.